Hello, welcome. This is from the Nosebleeds, where we get more excited about game day than our birthday. We're going to talk to you about the top 25 list that came out and give some thoughts to what we think it should be, or just the preseason top 25. We're just going to go over it. Kale, what do you want to list them off for me?
Rank Army, you cowards.
All right.
But anyway, I'll just start with the. I'll list what the AP poll put out a few days ago, what their actual rankings are. Starting with 25, we have Stanford, Nebraska, Washington State, Syracuse, Iowa State, Iowa, Wisconsin, Michigan State, UCF, Auburn, Penn State, Utah, Washington, Texas A&M, Oregon, Texas, Notre Dame, Florida, Michigan, LSU, Ohio State, Oklahoma, Georgia, Alabama, and Clemson.
Well,
so what jumps out to you first?
Okay, well, what doesn't jump out to me is that Clemson and Alabama are at the top. So that is how it should be. I'm glad that it's like that. I'm glad Clemson's not. I'm glad they're number one and Alabama's not number one. That's good. But what sticks out to me the most is how Michigan is above Florida.
Yep.
And what bowl was it?
The Peach Bowl.
The Peach Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Florida beat them 41-15 in the Peach Bowl last year. That's ridiculous. And also the fact that Georgia's going to be good. I agree with that, but they got beat by Texas in the Sugar Bowl last year. They lost all three of their big games all season long. To Texas,
LSU, Alabama, and Texas.
Yeah, LSU, Alabama, and Texas.
Yeah.
They lost all three of those games. Now, they've given Alabama a run for their money the last couple of years, and I think that if they end up playing them this year, they have a chance of beating them, but I don't think they should be ranked number 3 yet. I think Oklahoma and Ohio State can flip. You can flip those in between, I think, but they should be both above Georgia.
Yeah, the media is really trying to push Georgia as being this next Alabama step type. I always stumble on my words. I'm sorry. But, they've kind of been a media sweetheart lately, and I think these rankings are a testament to that.
Yeah, I agree too. I think the fact that LSU versus Texas in a couple weeks.
Ooh, that'll be good.
That's probably going to be a top 10 matchup because they both have, warm up games. First game.
I'm not gonna lie. Ed Orgeron has kind of made me a bit of an LSU fan. I love that guy.
Talking like go Tigers. Yeah, I love that. I love how he talks. He's fun coach to listen to. I hate Texas. I cannot root for them, but I don't care what happens in that game.
Breaking news: the sky is blue.
Yeah.
Carson hates Texas.
Yeah, no joke.
Yeah,
both of us.
Yep.
Let's see what else do we got on here.
Anything that jumps out.
Oregon's probably too high.
Way too high. At 11, that's too high.
Penn State's on there?
Yeah.
Huh.
Penn State.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, they can be in there, whatever. Well, not really much else jumps out to me. I mean, other than the Georgia thing and the Michigan thing. Notre Dame probably deserves to be up there because they made the playoff last year. Boo-hoo. Getting the conference, but ruining the competition.
Yeah. Well, they're not really ruining anything.
Yeah, that's true.
You kind of have to win something to ruin something.
Yeah, that's a good point. They did go undefeated, but
in a cupcake schedule.
In a very cupcake schedule. Their schedule's not as easy as it was last year.
It's still pretty easy. But...
Yeah, still,
Well, I say that. It's one of the harder ones in the country, so I probably shouldn't say easy.
Yeah, when their rivals are good, it's a hard schedule because they always play, USC,
Michigan, Stanford,
Michigan. Yeah.
Well, they don't always play Michigan, but...
They are this year, though. They're in Michigan, I think, right? Or is it South
Michigan?
It's in Michigan? Okay.
It's in October, too, so that'll be interesting. But
there's a lot of big games coming. There's, LSU,
Texas LSU.
Is it Oregon and Auburn?
Oregon, Auburn, yes, week 1.
Week 1.
What else is there? There's Nebraska's got a big one, I feel like. Man, who do they
I'll pull
play?
up a list, and I have a bunch of them listed.
Yeah. Michigan plays Army, also. That'll be interesting. They'll win that, but it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be Miami, Florida, that might be a pretty big one.
Florida, Miami,
yeah.
Yes. We need to make a video on that, too.
Yeah. A&M and Clemson in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I think that it's at Clemson, isn't it?
Yeah.
Clemson will win. A&M did give them a good run last year, but it's such a different game because their crowd is really, really good at Kyle Field, but I mean,
It's
Clemson's really, really good, and they're probably going to be just as good as they were last year, if not better. But their defense, they lost 4 defensive linemen went to the NFL draft?
all 4 of them did.
Yeah,
I thought it was 3. I could
might
be
have been
wrong
3.
about that, but
They were 4-year seniors too. Like they didn't leave
Yeah.
early or anything. They played that whole time. Clemson at Syracuse, week 3. That's probably a good one.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good games this week. Probably not going to list all of them, but we'll talk about them as the year goes on and stuff. But
Going back to the rankings, we've made a revision to this, but we think the top 25 should be. So starting with 25, Stanford, which is the same as the AP poll. I mean,
yeah,
Stanford, whatever. Then 24, we put Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then 23, Kentucky, which oddly enough was completely left out of the AP
I don't know
poll.
why they were left.
That makes no sense at all. In fact, they beat Penn State last year
Yeah, they
in the Music City Bowl.
Yeah, I mean they beat them pretty good too. They held on to it pretty well.
So I don't know why they're not ranked. Same thing with the next one, Army, that we put at 22. Beating Houston 70-14 is no small accomplishment, as we'll probably find out in a couple weeks.
Yep.
But yeah,
Who was after Army?
Syracuse. I'll let you.
Okay. All right. Syracuse. Obviously, they've been giving Clemson a good run the last couple of years. They beat them a couple years ago, and that was an interesting game. Iowa State. We have at what number is that? 20? Just 20?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we got Iowa there. That'll be a good matchup when it happens.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for that
Yeah.
one.
And then we got
Michigan State.
Yeah, Michigan
which is
State
the
right
same.
there. And then Washington State.
Go Cougs.
Yeah.
At 17. I don't know why on earth they're 23. I mean, yeah, they're losing Gardner Minshew there. He was actually a Heisman candidate. He placed 5th or something, but
He did, didn't he?
yeah.
Yeah.
They've got a great
Really good
defense,
one for
and they're returning most of their starters on offense. So
Okay. Cool.
I don't expect them to take too much of a step back, but they should start higher than 23.
Yeah, probably. Let's see.
Okay, Nebraska, I want to take a step back. Why did the AP poll rank Nebraska at all? That's completely nonsensical. They went 4-8 last year.
Oh, they did, didn't they? That's terrible.
4-8.
A lot of people think they're going to be better, and they might be, but I mean,
They shouldn't be ranked.
it's not. Yeah, it's not proven yet, so you shouldn't rank them. That's why I don't like preseason rankings that much because nothing's proven yet. I mean, you should wait a couple weeks. I mean, but you got to do it because you got to have something to talk about, as what we're doing right now. So I guess if we didn't have preseason rankings, we wouldn't be making this video or podcast.
Yeah. Our next change we made is we swapped Penn State and Auburn at 15 and 16 respectively. Because, I mean, I guess you can't really argue a whole lot about that because they're both kind of meh teams. But it is what it is. I think Auburn's slightly better though. So.
Yeah.
And they had a more impressive resume last year. Then we moved Oregon down to 14 from 11 because they had an unimpressive 2018 season, capped off by beating Michigan State 7-6.
Yeah.
Their supposedly prolific offense scored 7 points.
Justin Herbert with his one touchdown pass, or was it even?
I mean,
was it even a
Michigan's-
touchdown pass?
I don't remember.
I don't either.
But Michigan State does have a good defense, but that 7 points, no, that's silly.
Or Oregon,
That's cute.
Oregon and Wazoo are probably the best in the Pac-12, but there's not much going on in the Pac-12. So I mean,
No.
okay. I mean,
Well, I say that the next 2 spots are Pac-12 teams. We have Utah
yeah.
and Washington at 12 and 13.
yeah. Why Utah? What's the big deal about Utah?
I mean, they didn't do bad last year.
That's true. Did they win their bowl game?
Oh, yes, they did win their bowl game, I think.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
A&M at 11.
They probably need to be there.
Yeah, AP poll has them at 12. I moved them up because they beat North Carolina State 52-13.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
They have a murderer's row of season this year. They have to go.
It's brutal.
They have Alabama at home, but they have to go to Clemson and to Georgia.
Yeah.
And
to LSU.
And to LSU. I mean, that's
That very well might be the hardest schedule in the country.
one of the hardest schedules I've seen in a while.
Yeah. But then the biggest change, we already talked about this, but we moved Michigan down to 10 from 7. Because Michigan doesn't really have a whole lot to their name in recent years.
That's true.
But
And they got whooped by Florida.
yeah,
As we
they play
brought up.
Florida every year, it seems like.
It does seem like that, and they usually don't win.
No.
I mean,
They don't win big games usually.
yeah.
But then we moved up Texas and Notre Dame because, we had to fill that spot somehow by moving Michigan.
I hate Texas.
Then Florida took Michigan's spot at 7. LSU is still 6.
Yeah.
And then 3 through 5, we made some changes. Georgia, we moved down to 5 from 3. And then Oklahoma and Ohio State, we jumped up to 3 and 4, respectively. Because, do you want to explain why we did that?
Well, we talked about it earlier, didn't we?
Did we talk about?
Yeah,
we
I
did.
think
talk
we
about
did.
that.
Yeah. Because we think Georgia lost all their big games and they got beat by Texas. I mean, in the Sugar Bowl. I mean,
we got beat by Texas too, but we won. We won the game that mattered.
Yeah, we won the game that mattered. Texas fans. I know you still have the golden hat.
I don't think any Texas fans are listening to us.
Yeah,
they would
that's
have
a good
already
point.
shut us off, and
That's a good.
I don't know.
They probably would have. But
Yeah.
if there is Texas fans listening, we know you still have the golden hat, but we have a Big 12 championship trophy, so there you go. So also, we think that Ohio,
Clemson.
Alabama, Clemson. We also think that Ohio State is more proven to be better in bigger games, based on last year than Georgia was, and Oklahoma too last year also because, we probably didn't give Alabama as good of a fight as Georgia did, but it was pretty close at the end of it. But
The thing with Georgia,
they lost to Texas.
they're loaded with so much talent, but they just don't accomplish a whole lot, really. I mean, you could say the same thing for us in recent years. I realize that, but Georgia just can't quite get over the hump, and
Same with us. I mean, we just can't get over the bad defense hump. The offense is fine, just the defense.
yeah,
We'll talk about that later, but yeah. Well, basically
That's really it.
That's our top 25.
yeah.
Overlook.
Our top 25 rankings ourselves.
We just our opinions. One of the first podcasts of the year, so
Yes.
you guys have a good one.
Yeah.
We're gonna unhitch your wagon.
Let us know what you think about this in the comments section below. That would be greatly appreciated.
And if you subscribe, that'd be great too.
And then click the little bell icon.
Yes.
You know this is a YouTube channel. We got to have a shameless plug for
that's true.
clicking the bell and subscribing. And you're
That's
probably
true.
sick of hearing stuff like that from every single video you watch, but from everyone. But we're gonna do it anyway. So
All right. So we're gonna unhitch your wagons, put the ponies in the barn. See you later.
boomer sooner.
Boomer sooner.